morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. This morning I've come up to Dunkeld in Perthshire and I'm walking through the Hermitage. I'm trying to find what they call the Pine Cone viewpoint, so I'm going to climb up the hills and see if I can find this viewpoint. It's not the best of weathers, it's raining and the forecast is 100% rain all day. So I'm just going to keep going. If I get wet, I get wet. I'm going to turn around because the view along the Hermitage trail is absolutely beautiful with all the autumnal colours. And just beside me, the river is the River Bran. So follow me on my journey this morning, and here's hoping we can find Pine Cone View. So I'm not sure if the camera can pick up, but right at the top of that tree line there's quite a deep mist. This is absolutely stunning here. The autumnal colours are incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. But what I was, rather than stop and start, because if I stop and start and take photos I'll never get to the viewpoint. So what I'll do is I'll get to the viewpoint first, I'll get that climb over, and it'll be much easier for me walking back downhill than it will be climbing uphill. And then when I come back down here later on in the morning, I'll start taking photos of the river, the falls and all the autumnal trees, well, weather permitting. So I said I wouldn't take any photos until I reached the viewpoint. Well, I'm fibbing. I couldn't help myself. I walked past the river, this bridge, and the river, and all the mist in front of all the trees. I just can't resist it. So I'm just going to set up my composition at 1 second, f11 and ISO 100. I've set up an exposure compensation just to see if that makes any difference. I'm continually having to wipe my lenses because of the rain. So I'm changing my camera to portrait mode so I can get a full view of the trees and just to see how that comes out. So I'm just going to take a shot here. I've just been speaking to a really nice couple, a guy called Willie, who has his own YouTube channel, funny enough, and it's Secret Treasure Scotland, so I'll need to check that out. Really nice couple, but yeah, I'm going to take my last shot and then I will wander off. Well, I've reached Ossian's Cave. I'll keep walking round, see if you can see it behind me. Whoops, better watch tree roots. So Ossian's Cave was built in the early 1800s and it was done by the then Duke of Atholl for Ossian. So I'm now walking down the trail to start the hike up the hill. Use the totem pole as a marker to climb up to the top of the hill to try and find Pinecone View. Well, I'll be walking for 45 minutes. And I thought, I even got my iPhone out to see if I could use sat nav to trace Pinecone Point. However, after that wee stroll, look what I found. I found a sign that says Pinecone. So, onwards and upwards. Well, I've finally arrived. It's taken me an hour and 25 minutes to walk up this hill to this Pinecone viewpoint, and it's one of those things in YouTube where you just can't plan for these things and it's all misty, so there's no view. So I'll lift the camera up and you can then see what I can see. Well, I'm going to sit and have my coffee just because I'm knackered and can't see through my glasses. So this is quite an interesting place. I've actually never been up here before, but I've seen photographs for the summer and it looks absolutely stunning. Unfortunately for me, from a viewpoint, I don't have a view because of all the mist. However, that actually works to my advantage, because on the way down I'm going to take shots of the forest, and I'm going to try and take shots of the forest with the mist, because I haven't actually experienced that before and this will be a new experience for me. So I'm just going to have my coffee. This whole Hermitage area, you would think by looking at it it's been here forever and it was an ancient woodland. It's actually not. It's only about 300 years old. And it was planted by the then second Duke of Atholl, and he put in a lot of firs, he put in a lot of larch and other species of trees to try and kind of fill the landscape, but also he was probably the start of what we know as Forestry Commission now. But it was also a tourist route, so he made paths so that horse and carriages could go through the area and see the views and see the trees. But this Pine View was created by the National Trust for Scotland, and I've never been here before, but I'm actually thankful for it because it's a nice piece of shelter, so I'm quite enjoying it. So before I finish my chat, my father-in-law's cousin, John McMahon, who lives in Canada, he shared with me a YouTube video about a National Geographic photographer, a guy called Jones, and it's really inspirational. So if you're ever struggling for ideas, it's worth looking him up, because he's a very inspirational photographer. He's had a fantastic career with National Geographic and it's really worth a look. So I'm actually going to just sit and take in the view of the trees in the mist, the peacefulness, and then once I finish my coffee I'm going to take some photographs of the Pinecone Arch, and then I'll steadily work my way back down to the river and I'll see what images I can capture on the way. going to start, I've put my rain covers on my bags, and I'm going to start wandering down the hill, and hopefully the rain eases off. It's playing havoc with my lenses and misting my lens. So let's wander back down the hill and see if we can get some shots on the way. So I've only been walking about 5 minutes and I spotted the mist through the trees here. So I just can't resist, so I'm just stopping. And I've set up my composition as a portrait shot, which means I've turned my camera on its side. I've lost a wee bit of light there, so I'm just going to turn it up a bit. I'm just increasing my camera, slowing down my camera speed. So I've got ISO 100, I've got f11, and I've got 1.6 seconds. I've focused in on those central trees. I'll take my shot, and that's really nice, so I might do a quick bracket exposure, just in case I need it later on. I'm actually taking more single shots today than I am bracket exposures because it's so misty and soft. There's no need for the bracket exposure because there's not really a lot of things with highlights, so I don't need to recover highlights anywhere. What I am seeing though, I'm standing here and there's trees with yellow leaves this side, there's trees with yellow and orange leaves this side. I look to my right hand side and there's more mist with the trees that makes it look even more mysterious. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to zoom in to the trunks of the trees because I've seen quite a nice, well, what looks like a composition when I'm standing here. I'm not quite sure how I'll look when I process it at home, but I'm going to focus. There's a tree straight in front of me and there's a branch and there's some fur growing off the branches, so I'm focusing in on the leaves, well, the fur, leaves, the needles. So I've focused in on the needles of the tree on that branch. I'll take the shot, and I think, so as I was shooting there, there's a scene straight in front of me where really what I really want is the canopy of the trees. So I'm just going to focus in on a cluster of trees, get my focus right. I'll take my shot because there's a lot of mist in these trees. And that might turn out to be a nice image. So there's another image I've spotted, and that's way behind the camera, back towards the path. And it's really a series of ferns. So I'm just setting up the composition. So what I've got is I've got a series of green ferns all in front of me that actually haven't changed colour yet. But in the background behind the path, there's a small cycle path that goes vertically up the way, parallel with the walking path that I'm using. But above that is a series of ferns that are orange and gold and yellows. So I'm going to focus in on those ferns. Let me zoom in. So I've focused in on those ferns. I'll take my shot. That's really nice. And that's us finished in this area. So let's keep walking down the hill and see what we can find. I spotted another composition. So those trees over there, I've set up a landscape shot and I'm just about to do a portrait shot, because if you can see just above that tree, where if I point, above that tree up here, all the mist above those trees, and that little tree there is the focal point because of all the colours that are in it. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 shots here, and once I've done them I'll share the images. Okay, so I'm down from the bottom of the hill, but the rain's getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and all my equipment's getting wetter and wetter. So what I'll do is I'm going to take a shot. There's a small yellow tree that I noticed inside the forest. Right, I'm going to take a shot of this tree, but what I noticed was it's got a lot of yellow leaves and the background's quite dark, so it stands out quite well. So what I'll do is I'll take a couple of quick shots here. And the rain's just getting heavier and heavier. Luckily I brought a change of clothes with me, so they're in the van. Right, let's see what we can get here with this wee tree, just before everything gets absolutely ruined with the rain. I'm just focusing in on the tree. I've got an 1/8 of a second f11 ISO 100, so that's making it quite dark. I'm just changing the shutter speed. I'm just increasing it to 1.3 seconds. Just double checking. Oh, that's really nice. In fact, that's really nice. So there's 2 trees. There's one at the back of it. What I'll do is I'll centre it, because I might be able to use that as a square crop. So I'll take that shot and we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to zoom in. I actually might brighten that one up and lift that up to 2 seconds. See how that goes. Yeah, that's really nice. I think I've also left the shade white balance setting on, so that's made quite a big difference. I'm actually going to turn this into portrait. I'll zoom out a little bit. I'll just get so much sheen on the leaves now because everything's so wet. Alright. I think I'll end the video here. I'm going to walk back past the river, so I might take some shots of the river. If I do, I'll share them with you. I think the rain's kind of beat me this morning. To be fair though, I've been out for about 4 hours, so that's been quite good. First time I've ever photographed in heavy rain like this, so there's a lot of things I would do different. I'll need to have drier cloths, I'll need to have a second waterproof jacket for example. But yeah, all good fun. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll notify you the next time I post a video. So thank you, and here's to the next video.